Welcome in to Discover Crypto's Blockchain Basement Expose, and I am your man, Druth Crypto. Welcome. We've had Monday open. A little bit of turbulence has come to Bitcoin, but we have a very, very chaotic week in terms of price action we're going to be diving into in this video, plus some major implications. We have New York open, sell off once again, but there's Trump announcing a world tariff. This is really shaking up the markets on top of all the trade wars that we've seen so far. But the larger economic vision of Trump is starting to be revealed. It's starting to be shown in the light through his actions. It's actually not that bad of a situation for the United States, putting some extra pressures on countries across the world, though. So we're going to be taking a look at that, some key levels to watch for Bitcoin and really the markets at large this week with the FOMC. And Brock out here potentially exposing a bunch of crypto feds. We're going to be taking a look at that and getting your guys' opinion of all of this. What is up, everyone in the chat? I see Matthew. I love you. I'm happy you're here, Matthew. You're probably real. I wonder if you did the blink 100 times for yes. We got Sanon, thinking that we're going to $111,000 on Bitcoin. Big move if that should happen. Wash out a lot of the liquidity. DeFi crypto and airdrops, my man, Mr. Veteran Crypto. I got a text from you, Vet, this weekend. I just didn't get to it. I'm actually preparing the property to potentially selling the house. Looking at some new spots here, kind of getting excited. Spent a lot of the weekend doing, upgrades to the flooring, the walls, all those things. Really just kind of sprucing things up, getting it ready here. The house is a little small now. I got 4 kids, beautiful wife, 2 dogs. Got to expand the area here, seeing some really good options in the areas that I'm eyeballing here. Slim Cheeses, good morning. What's up, Alden? I saw you asking. I'm right here, baby. We upgraded and got a chance to actually go live with our main basement show here on Discover Crypto. So if you're new, make sure to smash that like. And also follow my channel, Blockchain Basement, as well. Additionally, this is our brother channel. This is obviously where me and Isaac do a lot of the work here. We have a big video coming out for XRP holders tonight. So we do video uploads, lots of short contents, and man, we are still cooking to that 100K mark. I can imagine the feeling when I'm walking around like Flavor Flav with 100,000 subscriber plaque hanging from my chain there. I'm super excited about it. What up, Dizzy Gang? Philip, Antonius Pepe. Pepe's got 15 kids, man. 15 kids. I mean, that's big if true. But make sure you are liking and subscribe in this video and go subscribe to Blockchain Basement, folks. Now, we got to take a look at Bitcoin. Things are a little bit turbulent right now. We've fallen to $117,988 as of the time of this recording. Now, there's been some pressure, sure, on the trade war, trade warnings, yada, yada. We're going to get into the Trump stuff here. But the chart really speaks for itself. What we're running into is selling pressure. Lots of selling pressure in this red box here from 119.5 up to 122. And down in the green box, we've seen a lot of buying pressure. And, something very telling about this recent pullback and bounce out of this level here at $114,000 was that we did not breach and go beyond this sell wall. The sell wall still held up very strongly in the short term. So we're going to be taking a look at that. I actually kind of do feel like looking at Pepe's chart as well, because Pepe's been looking pretty good for a little bit of time. I do kind of want to look at what Pepe has been able to pull off in terms of market cap, kind of compare it to Pepe. Feels like it's going to be able to accomplish the same hype level and the same kind of concentration of meme liquidity in this cycle as Shiba Inu did last cycle. I feel that same kind of vibe coming for Pepe. So I do kind of actually feel like looking at that. Now, back to the Bitcoin charts. We are sitting smack dab in the middle of this sell wall and this buy wall as Bitcoin is sitting here ranging. Now, we are at a very key level in terms of this being a point of control. So I'll pull this map up and kind of map this out for us on the 4-hour for Bitcoin. I am not scared about this price level at all, and I'll show you kind of why I'm not really that concerned. Not only do we have a lot of historic metrics on the New York Open or kind of the weekly beginnings, that I'll show you. But this is what's got me kind of excited for entering new trade positions is we are sitting smack dab at the main volume node point for Bitcoin. This is where the most action has happened in this current range. Now it's a matter of, can we keep this range? Can we hold above? The sell pressure is obviously above us. The buy pressure down here in the 115 zone. Can we hold this pressure up? And now we are sitting right at that volume node. It's a very, very key level for Bitcoin. And there's a lot going on, a lot of news going on, a lot of things driving this price action. And obviously the liquidations there within. Over the weekend, it was quite hot and heavy. $348 million were liquidated from the crypto market over the course of just 24 hours this weekend. 118,000 traders were liquidated. Biggest liquidation was a $2.6 million ETH position on HTX. Some big moves. You know what? And when market makers see the liquidity and they see that they can go wipe people out, if a given price movement happens, they usually end up making that movement happen. Here's where liquidity sits right now on Bitcoin. This is on Binance. So the larger view on this, I'll go to the side here just for a moment. This is the 1 month view, and there is a pretty good chunk of liquidity right above us, $120,500. Things have gotten a little bit dry to the downside if you're looking from a larger term perspective. Now, if you zoom in, things look like a dead heat race. Right now, we have the bulls and the bears battling over this current zone. Yes, they're long stacking up in this range. We're sitting right above it. But there's also a good chunk above us here, and there's a lot of resilience that Bitcoin has shown in the light of these New York Opens. These are the great sessions from American traders, the New York Open in the white line, and absolute pressure. Like we had the right after market bell went up, we were feeling good, printing a lot of bullishness, but then Trump, in his infinite KOL wisdom, came out with some pretty intense words for world trade that kind of shook things up. Now I'll go here. Oh, I got my man Isaac running the sticks. Thank you very much, brother. This is Trump talking about what the tariff rate will be for the rest of the world. Let's have a listen.
He said that we're going to set essentially a tariff for the rest of the world.
For the world.
What percent will that tariff be?
I would say it'll be somewhere in the 15 to 20% range.
So maybe 15 or 20 or?
No, I said, I sort of know, but I just want to be nice. I would say in the range of 15 to 20%. Probably one of those two numbers.
Putting down the hammer on the rest of the world. Now, Trump and his tariffs on the rest of the world, this is a loaded subject matter. For me, I am based in America, and there is a large amount of hope for me that these tariffs will kind of renationalize production, renationalize focus on manufacturing here in the United States, but also kind of even the playing field when it comes to America being the large basket of consumers that come in and buy these products being made around the world for a large contingent for the last 50 plus years. On the other hand, there is a global economy that has now been developed, and there will be some short-term hardships on companies that didn't really prepare for this kind of situation where you have Trump as the president trying to level the playing field when it comes to these trade negotiations, these trade deals. It is a loaded bag. I know that the fiscal debt for the United States is something that long-term needs to be dealt with. There was a time frame here in the U.S. where we didn't have income tax, where we actually had external just tariffs, paying for national needs. Now we're at the situation where we are tariffing the rest of the world and taxing the people at the same time. And that is kind of aggravating to me indeed. Got a 2.69% 30-year mortgage in 2021. Never selling. Christian, I am in a similar situation, but I'm kind of tempted. I got to say, the equity is very strong. Took a lot of profits from the last cycle. Got in on a nice mortgage rate and really killed a lot of the debt, right out of the gate. So, it is what it is. I'm going to do what's right for my family. I think I need a little bit more room for them, and I don't feel like being a landlord. I really, really don't feel like being a landlord. I don't want to rent the thing out. Let's see here. Aerodrome all-time high. Where did I see that? I got a Christian. Oh, Christian's talking about Aerodrome all-time high. we can check that out as well. I will check out Aerodrome and really the rest of the altcoins right now. Altcoins aren't looking too bad. The crypto landscape, though, has taken a little bit of a beating. There is still life here. We have BNB going to absolute price discovery. BNB is at $830. Solana flatline over the last 24 hours here at 187. Hype still chugging along, eyeballing that $50 hyper liquid token price. Would not be surprised if we see this in the next month or two here. And Pengu has kind of taken Korea by storm. So we are going to be looking at really what's been driving this massive Pengu resurgence. Today, Pengu is down. Today, Sui is down. Honestly, it's interesting. Kaspa, Sui, and Pengu are down, but they have arguably quite a bit going for them in terms of larger upswing momentum. So, harder to pull back when things do pull back just a bit, but they will be harder to rise and to resurge. I would say that. Cardano trying to hold on to this 80-cent zone as Bitcoin is literally sitting here just flat at $118,000. Kind of ridiculous when you think about that. We fall to $118,000 and everyone, it's over. It's the end of the world. And you know what? My warning for today's show is more about people's expectations being set on having a federal interest rate cut. Federal interest rates are probably going to remain the same this week from the Federal Reserve, FOMC, which is coming up. We have 2 days and 47 minutes until the next FOMC. You will see this happening over the course of this week. There's going to be a lot of volatility there. The major warning, and I know a lot of my community is out there trading, is to remind yourselves that stop loss is your friend in this current environment in this week. Stop losses during this week will be quite helpful. The Federal Reserve rate, it likely is going to remain the same. So we have 97.9% of survey participants believe that there's going to be no base point cut in this current realm. Now, next meeting here, September, there is a likelihood of a 25 base point cut. And then you hop on over to December, which is the other expected cut zone. Wait a minute, we got to check something out here. So September, we're expected to go to 4 to 4.25. And then December, I believe it should still be, okay, yeah. So December heavily weighted towards a 25 base point cut, but there's a 20% chance of a 50 base point cut coming in December, which would be absolutely insane to see. A lot of economic pressures, a lot of things are stacking up on Jerome Powell, a lot of political pressure as well. And at a point, there will be a time where, yes, the national debt, the refinancing of emergency loans is going to have to be done. It's to the tune of $9 trillion. So when you come to the crescendo of high interest rates with, nearly $10 trillion of emergency debt to refinance within the year, you have to pull back the rates a little bit just to be able to keep the Ponzi scheme going. In short, I just canned that answer for you. Obviously, there's a lot of convolution, a lot of, commercial real estate's down to this level or blah, 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 it's down to that level. Really, when it comes down to it, the government has to refinance nearly $10 trillion in debt. A lot of this debt was taken in an emergency stance over the past few years with the pandemic and now the commercial real estate losses. This is a time where you can really consolidate this down to they basically need to keep the rates low to keep the Ponzi scheme going. That's why Scott Bessent is so excited about these stable coins, is because then the Treasury can print and ease some of the pressure from the Federal Reserve to fix all their problems. Now, this is crazy. Over the weekend, crazy trading going on here. Smart Trader went from a profit of over $26 million to $716,000 in losses, is back. He deposited $4 million in USDC and opened a short position, 20,000 Ethereum, with a liquidation price of $39.97. Now, as things sit right now, I don't believe that he did indeed tap that level, but I think he got dang close here. Let's go check this out. So this is on the weekly, and Ethereum has had some insane weeks. Like, just acknowledge this weekly run for Ethereum, the girth of it, the thickness, 77% in just a few weeks. I went close, very, very close to that level. Let's see here. About $3,940. So no liquidation there yet. And probably actually this trader's actually probably sitting in the green. You got to risk it for the biscuit. It is what it is. Risking it for the biscuit. So shout out to him, balls of steel out there trading with millions of dollars. It takes balls of steel to do so. Whoa, One House Productions knows 2 minutes darker. My old band, huh? I honestly think about getting back into the band game quite often. 2 minutes darker. You're bringing me back. One House Productions. I used to be a heavy metal singer for a long time. 2 minutes darker was the last band that I was in right before I moved out here to Georgia to start what I do now. I think just about 4 years ago. Man, those are the days, right? Those are the days. And you know what? I'm really proud. My first portion of my life, I did heavy metal music, did major, great arena shows, showed my kids that, you can really reach for the stars and you can do some crazy stuff. Then I got a job as crypto researcher turned YouTuber. Over the course of the last 4 years, it's been, you just set a good example for your kids, man. Anything is possible if you put your mind to it. That's what I'd say. Now, in terms of volatility this week, going to be wild. This is Bitcoin open interest reaching new all-time highs, $44.5 billion in open interest amid a price decline, signaling increased leverage and a higher risk of market volatility and liquidations. This is something to be cognizant of. There's a lot of bets going on, and rightfully so. I mean, Bitcoin, from a trading standpoint, is essentially building up a giant bull pennant. All right, it's building up a giant bull pennant that we see. This is the range that we've been blessed to analyze and trade within. Up here at the $120,000, $117,000 range. And this bull pennant, the overall target for a little bit smaller than this, comes up. If we break out from this point, people are eyeballing this $130,000 to $140,000 target for a slew of different reasons. You got the bull pennant, but you also got the inverse head and shoulders. And both of these targets essentially play out to that zone. A lot of people are trying to catch that giga pump. And that's what I say. You can't get lucky if you ain't at the fair. And that's why I'm out here fishing for these trades actively. And huge shout out to our Discover Investments Group Discord. Very active. I saw the wins being posted up, people working together, getting the different market data out to each other. I was a little bit behind the buck in terms of catching market open this morning because of the chaos of the chitlins, but I'm excited. They're starting school next week. I'll be back to a more kind of normalized schedule. I'm looking forward to it, but it's been a definite blessing to have them here at the studio with me for the time that I can have, because you know what? They're going to be grown up. They're going to be hormonal. They're going to be yelling at me. They're going to be hurting me, my feelings at least, God, my daughter, she's already getting spicy on me. She's already like talking back, I would have never imagined her to talk back. It just, hold on. We're having our pre-workout. Got to have that pre-workout. All right. Now, just be careful out there. We got heightened volatility, all-time high open interest right now. We got FOMC coming up in 2 days. This is an event going down in 2 days. We obviously will be live streaming it and watching the comments here, but really, we know that it's going to be no rate cut. We're not going to have that major move. It's more about the dialogue, the kind of precedent that Jerome Powell sets in that FOMC meeting is what we're going to be more closely watching. Now, speaking of closely watching, Grok has been doing deep analysis of engagement patterns, narratives, and connections in Bitcoin Twitter. No accounts that it views show definitive signs of being covert federal agents, or AKA feds, but such claims are largely substantiating conspiracies for speculation's sake. Here are 20 with unusual traits like sudden rises or regular friendly reg friendly views. Now, purely hypothetical. Dot Kruger, Mike Alfred, Lynn Alden. Lynn Alden. Whoa. Must stop Murad. Is Murad a Fed? Going parabolic, Gary Cardone. This is crazy. I don't even know who this Globaflows. Wayne Vaughn, Operation Danish. Okay, interesting. Mac Raymer. It's just interesting to go through data analysis. This is obviously from Grok. If you had to pick one person, chat, on this list who is indeed a Fed, let me know who you'd pick. Let me know who you'd pick. I want to know. I want to know. Now, what do we got here? Warrior. Ruth, you want to look at Injective? I might look at Injective again. What are your thoughts on holding this cycle? I mean, it's seasonal hold on Injective. I don't think anything wrong with. Looking for a 10x or so with an average price of 10-ish bucks. I'll check it out. Patton's a Fed. Clearly, I had to know Patton McCrotch is a Fed. All right, so motion thinks number 3. Lynn Alden being the Fed here. This is like a game of Clue. This is a game of Clue with AI analysis involved. I'd say Murad. I think Murad would be a Fed psyoping people into a meme coin super cycle to then just giga rug everyone. That's like just shooting from the hip. Like, I guess Lynn Alden makes sense, but more so Murad really stuck out to me. Murad definitely thought, and Murad is definitely up on the SPX 6900, but I could see something like that, little MK Ultra action on a meme coin degen, get them all in the same bucket and then just merge them all with leverage. Oh, had a first daddy-daughter date this weekend. Loved it. Philip, shout out to that. Shout out to that. That's what we do it for, man. All of them. Raheem's probably right. Probably all of them. Thoughts on Kita? I'll check out Kita. Let's go check out Kita here. Let's make sure we covered all the Bitcoin jazz, the jazz hands that we have to cover on Bitcoin. We got all-time high hash rates. Good words here from Max Kaiser, recently said on a space. Don't look at Bitcoin's price. Watch the hash rate, all-time high. And shout out to Kelly Killam. I do believe that Kelly is out there in Hawaii. So make sure to give Kelly some love because he's out there globe-trotting. Looking forward to seeing him again. And I'm sure that he's going to be coming back live here, I believe, even today. Now, this was very interesting as well. Several employees at China's second largest short video platform embezzled nearly $20 million in company funds, sold them through Bitcoin into 8 different centralized exchanges, mixed the coin, and then transfer them back to their Chinese RMB bank accounts. They're eventually ordered to return more than 90 Bitcoin and sentenced to 3 to 14 years in prison. China's top official newspaper, People Daily, recently made a rare report on the news. That's absolutely crazy. That's a short video content. You're embezzling 90 Bitcoin in the state of China. Super sketch. Just be careful out there, folks. Now, this is from Strategy. STRC, the IPO for it, $2.5 billion. They set the record as the largest U.S. IPO of 2025. STRC is another one. We get these keep popping up. I know it's hard to keep up with, but that is why you follow our channels. You let us keep our ears to the grindstone for you. This STRC IPO is a major fundraising move, a major play by Wall Street. And I do think that this also entices me to go look at the Circle and the coin graph because, Bitcoin, crypto, yeah, they're fun, they're upside, but we have been seeing some serious upside on Circle. So now where we got a lot more data to work with, which I like. Circle is currently trying to build out its trading range with the lows of $170, the highs, which it's got a set 2 kind of local highs to look at. We have one high at $300 and another lower high at $260. Looking at this, 170 to about 250 is the generalized trading range it's in. I am greedy. I'd see like 160, 150. I can snag a bag because I want to bag a Circle. I do want to bag a Circle. I do want to go look at Coin as well. Coinbase's stock ticker to see if we've had any sort of substantial pullback on this one. Let's see here. I know Coinbase, Brian Armstrong, you just had that interview with Sean Ryan. Obviously, thank goodness that didn't crash the market. No, of course it wouldn't. Really, this almost kind of looks like a opening up, almost like a megaphone type deal. I'm not like fundamentally bearish on Coinbase by any means. This type of movement, you got definite series of higher highs, which is good. This type of movement, I could maybe target like the high 100s, low 200s for that entry point. But just got to keep track of these things because I know we ask ourselves where alt season is. We see billions of dollars going into these Wall Street movements here on crypto. These are auxiliary plays to crypto that are easier access. Obviously, they have ETFs that they can be taken advantage of, but companies that deal with crypto also have major upside. And people that learn about crypto, you at home, you watching this show that is taking in the information about what's happening in the cryptocurrency space as it evolves. I really think the knowledge base that we're building up right now is going to be immensely powerful, immensely profitable over the next 10, 20 years. The whole world is waking up to Bitcoin, to crypto, people that are knowledgeable about it ahead of time. Think about how much that is going to be worth over the next 10 or 20 years. Quite a bit, if you ask me. Crypto Cody, thank you very much for sending over a membership as well. Appreciate you, bro. Machine Crypto made me a millionaire. I was a billionaire. Shout out to that. No crying in the casino, as they always say. Machine, shout out to that. Now, and then we're keeping in mind, I want to look at Kita. I want to look at Injective. Let me know if there was any others that I'm leaving out here when I get to my altcoins section. I'm getting close to it. We're getting into the weeds now. Remember when 2,000 Bitcoin on a market sell, not OTC, would nuke the entire market? Well, that's what we saw with Galaxy Digital over the course of the last week. And guess what? We didn't nuke, folks. A new billion-dollar sales get absorbed like nothing. Old wallets are moving coins and they barely register. Markets graduated from the kiddie pool. This is something very important to sit back and realize. Is this a spider? I just have a spider. Look at this. Hold on. Wait a minute. There's a spider. You can't see him right now. He's on my hand. He's crawling up. This is like, maybe you can see that. There's a spider. It just came down off the ceiling. What in the world? Yeah, it came off the top rope. The Galaxy sell-off, man, that in an old market would have absolutely. I expected Galaxy sell-off to get us to fill the CME gap. Now we would have had to gone to about $113,000 to fill the CME gap, but we didn't. That Galaxy sell-off, billions of dollars in Bitcoin sold in exchanges, not OTC, only got us down to 114.5, and then it was eaten up immediately. This is signaling some extreme strength, resilience in this current range. A major sell-off nuke. And they, Galaxy Digital, I agree with TJ that they didn't think, oh yeah, let's go dump the market in the middle of the night, 3 a.m., whenever. They pulled the trigger when they were ready to. Seeing the lackluster sell-off from the amount of Bitcoin that we just saw Galaxy Digital dump, we only dumped by 3.4%. This is a sell-off for ants. This is a whale dump for ants, and we really quickly regained that strength in it. Honestly, signaling to me, Bitcoin wants to go higher. Bitcoin wants to go higher. Morpho, another great project. Absolutely. Well, check out Morpho. I was going to check out Morpho anyways. You're reading my mind there, Mr. Hamid. Hopefully I said your name correctly. Sui is absolutely unstoppable. Sui, I was watching this weekend. I was thinking about putting a long in at like the high $3 range. Didn't do it. Watch Sui go to like $3.40. It's pulled back a little bit. But Sui has got some insane money flow coming into that project. So with Sui on the upswing that we've seen, I'm feeling like going and looking at the Sui ecosystem. But this is a great reminder in the long term. We're in altcoins for more Bitcoin. And this is why I love Bitcoin so much, because listen to the noise.
Have you already invested in Bitcoin?
Nah. We're buying a house. That's the real investment.
Breaking news. Bitcoin hits a new all-time high to save, the most profitable asset of the millennium.
Yeah, but you can't live in your Bitcoin, dumbass.
Kids, this is it. We finally did it. This is our house, our generational wealth. This is better than Bitcoin. This is our retirement account. It's only going up from here.
Honey, the faucet's dripping again.
Relax, it's just a damn washer.
Is that
I watched
me?
the video.
Is that me?
Oh.
Oh, come on. Why is this even connected to the dishwasher? Told you I'd fix it. Leaks fear me.
This is me.
Bitcoin's pumping again.
This is my life.
Wish I wasn't blowing so much fixing this house. That's not mold. That's patina. They charge extra for that in France. Why pay a guy when I can fix it myself? It's all right. We'll fix the roof. Property values always go up. That's how we get rich.
Honey, how are we supposed to get rich if we can't even sell it?
You too
I heard
now?
that guy too. Look, he's hitting
Mortgage,
the caravan.
repairs, HOA, taxes. Did we even live this month? I wish there was a way to buy Bitcoin with the money I've already put into the house.
And there is. That's the fun part about it. Is now with new economic mechanisms, we can actually actively buy with Bitcoin and keep the Bitcoin. That's the crazy part about our situation. Is that I'm in a spot where, you know, I don't really want to pay constantly increasing insurance costs, constantly increasing taxes on multiple properties. I don't get actively taxed on Bitcoin that are holding cold storage. Like the Bitcoin in my Arculus, I don't get actively taxed on that. The house actively taxed on it. It's like the only thing that I can truly own, obviously, you know, the love and the adoration of my family. The adoration is that I don't get taxed actively, and I actually own this, right? We don't actually own the money in our bank accounts. That's what's so backwards about this system right now, is that the system can build up to a break point, and then they'll just go in and take the money out of my bank account or your bank account or anyone's bank account that's still involved with this giant Ponzi scheme. They can take our money through the Dodd-Frank Act. They put this all in place during the housing crisis of 2008. Now we're sitting on $120 trillion in single-family housing value in the United States, and they're using our own literal tax money that they take from us by voluntary means, right? They're using that money, a portion of it, to keep houses off the market, to keep prices as high as possible. It's all a giant psyop. They're literally using our own money against us to keep the prices as high as they possibly can. It's an insane thing to go around. It's an insane thing to exist in. And this is why I Bitcoin. So yeah, and I agree with, I saw one commenter that this is sad. It is sad. It is sad that this is the average frame of mind, is really to just sit there and expect everything to be up and to the right only for housing. The whole reason why housing has gone parabolic is because the money supply has gone parabolic. But what hasn't followed suit is pay grades. People's ability to feed themselves is just dwindling and dwindling. So, you know what? Why I crypto is pretty clear. And this is just a fun kind of side conversation. People are asking you about crypto or ETH, maybe. Ethereum has just flipped Costco in market cap size. Now, I'm not sure ETH has held this $466 billion mark. Let's head on over. We are at $459 billion. So we lose it again to Costco, but we're going to get them. We're going to get them. Ethereum at 459 bill, XRP at 188 billion, but still holding up well above the $3 mark. Got to give credit where credit is due on them. They have pulled back by about 11%, 11.8% on the week, but there's some larger mechanical problems coming to Ripple and XRP that I think are, one hand, problems for XRP token holders, but on the other hand, very bullish for Ripple stockholders. So Ripple, I think, is going to perform very, very well. XRP has some problems in the overall relationship with its stable coin that just came out and the lack of DeFi developments on XRP that are going to probably play into a little bit of downward pressure. Now, I want to get to the rest of the altcoins here. We got to get to, we covered why crypto. This is a fun side note, though, that we're right on the heels of an altcoin beating Costco in market cap. And now we had a company called Grove bringing $250 million in tokenized Janus Henderson funds to Avalanche. We've seen Avalanche and the RWA movement really start to pick up It doubled with this move, and Avalanche, the token, has been very, very strong this weekend. Very strong performance from Avalanche. We have a move up to $27 just this morning, over $27. Obviously, with the price dip, we're down at $25.98, nearly 26. But honestly, Avalanche is setting up for some pretty big stuff. Last bull market, it topped out at $124. I have a series of higher lows developed over the long term for Avalanche. From a TA standpoint, honestly, this is quite a beautiful setup. And for Avalanche, I do think we're going to be breaching and going above and beyond this previous all-time high. I do. I feel like enough actual development is happening on Avalanche, enough actual long-term holders, people that believe in the ecosystem are really in on Avalanche. The memes last a long time. They got DeFi ecosystems rolling out, especially with that black token. I want to go check out, and while we're on Avalanche ecosystem, I'm going to go check out the black hole token to see if there's an entry point, maybe a potential spot. This did just come out, right? The original pump to zone here, where you saw literal, just slight turbulence, is at about $1 flat. It peaked right after release at $1.50. Actually, this looks pretty decent. We're getting a pullback, 6-7% pullback. I like seeing this as a brand new token. I like seeing how they kind of operate right after they come out. Man. All right. We might actually, Isaac, I know you can hear me. This one, I'm going to have to add to the targets list here. Let's add to the targets list. All right. So black hole's looking pretty darn good. I like seeing that a lot. And really quite nice to see Avalanche. I knew it had what it needed to have to get involved and get kind of integrated into real world assets. Seeing this uptick, this first initial move, and kind of this Janus Henderson fund doubling that RWA exposure for Avalanche, it just shows you when things really start to pick up, they pick up steam fast, and then they start moving really, really quickly. Avalanche, SWE ecosystem, I think the base ecosystem, and I think Solana's, I think Solana DeFi has a lot still to be discovered. I think a lot of DeFi plays on Solana haven't had that juice yet. One particular Solana DeFi play I think is going to be rising above the rest. A shout out to Johnny December, Mr. International. Happy Monday, Discover Crypto and Disco fam. Love the new time. Much easier for me to catch live streams. Let's go. That's right. See? Hey, it's new. I get it. People are a little shocked. They're like, whoa, guys, just doing your uploads on Blockchain Basement. You're doing your lives on Discover Crypto. I am blessed to be doing so. I'm excited to be here. And you know what? We have a lot of new viewers here. I am Drew, my cohort in the background. You can't see him right now. He's running the sticks. Isaac does crypto. So make sure to give him a follow here. Let's go show him. He's in the depths right now. So I got to give him a shout out here. Isaac does crypto. There he is. That's my man. He's a hardworking dude. And we got a great video about Ripple and XRP coming up. You don't want to miss. John, you guys asking how much Bitcoin? Never tell anyone how much Bitcoin you own. Never tell. A gentleman never tells, right? Also within this, Pendle in the altcoin movements hit an all-time high in terms of TVL. So Pendle's TVL is going very, very well. I do want to kind of compare and contrast this with the token price. Pendle has been a long-term visual, we've tracked Pendle for quite some time, years now in the blockchain basement. I do want to see if this token price compared to TVL is leaving us any room for good upside arbitrage. They're pretty well in line here. They're pretty well in line. TVL in the blue, token price in the orange. Let's hop on over to Coin Market Cap and check out Pendle to get kind of a wider view of price action. Let's see here. This is the overall. I mean, God, I guess you could say we were shilling it. We were just talking about it being a good project. Fucking like 10, 20 cents. 10 or 20 cents. This is one of those, you're in it for long enough, you end up running into real big wins. This one is just the precision of our research between me and Johnny on this is unmatched. Like 10, 20 cent buy points. you know, things got less exciting to chase green candles now that we're in this range, but I got to acknowledge the range is what it is right now. It's a good project. I'm going to have to approach this for new people as basically a Tau situation where, yeah, we called it hella early years ago, but now we're in this new price range and we kind of got to deal with the new price range. Looking at this, I can just say right off the bat, I'm going to be greedy. If I'm building out a Pendle bag, the TVL is doing well, DeFi narratives are doing well. I want that entry point to be in the $2 range, be it upper $2 range, right here, or, you know, right there. If I can get blessed enough to get a flat $2 on this, I'm doing it. But that's kind of the general range that I'm looking at on Pendle. Really just catching this. It is getting lower highs developed here. I think this is in tandem with a lot of the blue balls that had happened to, you know, altcoins over the course of the last 6 months, 8 months. There's a lot of pent up aggression. But I think that Pendle's DeFi and TVL speaks for itself, and that'll probably end up being a pretty nice looking graph when it all is said and done. And you know what? If you missed it here, it's fine. You know, I'm sure, you know, you don't follow the blockchain basement years ago to find this info. Now we're looking at a new high. Got to figure out how to get in on it. It looks like a pretty strong project. A lot of TVL look remaining very, very strong. Honestly, about to break into new all-time highs. So things are about to get pretty exciting on that end. I'm liking what I'm seeing there. Now let's head on to the next token here. I got to remember Morpho as well. I actually might just want to hop right over to Morpho. And this might be just our DeFi section in general, because I got to look at Morpho. Aerodrome's another one. Oh, God. Athena's at TVL just going parabolic too, Dan said. Let's go to ENA. Athena is another one. It was very, very sneaky RWA. Holy cow. We are looking juicy on this. Absolutely crazy. So, yeah, we got this. Correct. Go away. Now we go add the token price. Wow. Wow, 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 wow. Wow, wow, wee, wow. That is a good looking chart. That's the type of shit you want to see. Absolutely love it. Absolutely love seeing this. So, Athena, kind of that World Liberty-fied Trump menu token play basket. RWAs, AI, you know, new integrations of AI. AI is really tough for me because, like, the season that we're in right now, I think exactly what Veteran Crypto is bringing up here. Mamo or DeFi agents, DeFi AI agents that actually do a useful task. I think AI DeFi agents have proven they do a useful task. Things like Mamo, you know, deep picks like that have extremely high risk to reward ratios right now. Older iterations of kind of just large language model AI agents, I'm not really interested in. Not really interested in, you know, blockchains that say that, hey, all the AI agents, come on over here. The water's fine. I'm not really interested in that either. You know, finding the right one in this current environment, it's going to be very, very difficult. But I think the general kind of interest in DeFi AI agents is really picking up steam. The application and the clarity of DeFi is there on the legislative side. And so with that, I think that we're going to see a lot of kind of test beds from even banks on what they can do with DeFi. I want to go check out Mamo right now. Mamo was kind of incubated out of the Coinbase kind of startup realm. The price is very, very nice. So we got, what are we at? We're at about 12.5 cents right now for Mamo. Shout out to Jay, make some money. Enough said. That's right. I mean, a useful AI agent that's going in and out of pools, that's finding the best, you know, pools for people to get their assets into to get the highest yield. I think that's an extremely useful tool for AI to develop. Now, if I'm greedy and waiting on great entry points, I think the top end of this previous channel around 9 cents would be a good spot. And then if we dipped down into the lower end of this channel around 4, I'd feel comfortable even adding on to that. Feel pretty strongly that in the short term, Mamo will be able to show this 3.5 cent as a very, very strong hold of support if it ever should approach that price. If, say, we get a big Ethereum or altcoin drawdown, But yeah, I definitely would want to try to capture the top end or just in this kind of previous channel zone. And God, I'm terrible, veteran. You're going to hate me. I still have not gotten my Mamo airdrop. It's all on me. I have not gone to the website and done it yet. But I'll go back. I'm actually going to have to myself go to DeFi Crypto Airdrops YouTube channel and just review it. I know that he had brought up and sent me the website. We covered it a little bit. DeFi Crypto and Airdrops. I myself, I'm going to go here and make sure you're subscribed to him. DeFi Crypto and Airdrops, Veteran Crypto and Jeff. They work hard on all these things. They help me keep up to date because apparently I still have to go collect some ammo. Damn me, I know. Damn me indeed. I'm a little busy. A lot of stuff to do. But you know what? I'm going to make sure to take advantage of that. And I'll probably end up being just a basic spot buyer of ammo as well. I could absolutely see myself as a spot buyer of Mamo if we continue just to take a little bit of a haircut, right? We've seen a pullback of about 24% on the week. Mamo, useful agents, AI, DeFi, beautiful combination, something that should have clicked immediately when I saw AI agents coming out. I was like, these things are going to be used to go in and out of pools 100%. It's so clear now. But yeah, I think that the narrative, the application of use case for them, very, very strong and kind of in the in club. Think about that. It's kind of in the in club when you see the Coinbase incubation programs. Now, speaking of in clubs, PayPal and the PayPal mafia. The pay with crypto decreases deal cost by up to 90%. So PayPal has added Litecoin. PayPal crypto payments slashing transaction fees by 90% exposes a brutal truth. Private sector innovation routinely outpaces bureaucratic bloat. While DC drowns in these $50 billion annual payment processing waste programs and systems, PayPal has proved real efficiency gains achievable by integrating blockchain into the payment system. The real scandal here, federal agencies still force taxpayers to fund legacy financial networks that are charging 3 to 5% transaction when crypto solutions offer near instant settlements at a fraction of the cost. This is so insane. The private sector is GOAT. The private sector will win when it comes to innovation. It's up to governments to sit here and regulate those innovations. Governments do not innovate highly effectively. The public sector does. Governments are great at enforcing regulations and forcing people to pay taxes for their great accomplishments. Litecoin is awesome. I wish price went up more. PCA pray, Litecoin is an unsung hero of crypto. Litecoin gets a lot of shit, even more shit than Cardano. And if you really look at it, Litecoin has had some great overall altcoin performance. Really, the thing that everyone's aggravated, and I can understand why, is the length of time that we've gone in this range zone is longer than the previous bull market, right? They only had to wait from September of 2018 up to about September of 2020, just 2 years' time. In this range, they've had to wait since July of 2022 up to where we are now, 2025, 3 years. Another year of blue balls of pain waiting for that next high. But guess what? You got higher highs being created every single market blow off top. And I think that Litecoin will continue on that trajectory. It's currently number 18. But it was very notable that Litecoin was one of the few altcoins that was allowed to be included in early ETF application language. And I'm not going to be surprised to see multiple Litecoin specific ETFs roll out. It's one of the projects that's been around since 2013, June of 2013. It's a proven network. It stays up. It works fast. It's very cheap. People hate it. They bash on it because they want their new shiny rock in the room to do better than it. They want their new, deep pick down, even my stuff. I got some deep picks. It'd be great to see Morpho become number 18, but honestly, Litecoin, it's holding up strong. And in the top 20, very, very good projects. A lot of very, very good large networks that are all vying to keep their positions in the top 20 as this bull market heats up. Litecoin, I would not fade. I would not fade Litecoin. I just wouldn't say it. Now, some more information on this PayPal deal. There's people from Coinbase. Now, I don't know exactly how involved with Coinbase Duck is, but he speaks like he runs the damn company, if you know what I'm saying. PayPal cooked. It's time for you to drop PYUSD, terrible ticker name, on Base. Talking about the integrations, this is likely going to come to Base. You will see PayPal integrate with Base. I absolutely feel that way. Coinbase, the Base ecosystem, PayPal, it's all one big club. We're not in it, but we can invest in it and make money as it rolls out over scoping control. Now, Flux, another kind, this is a AI token that I actually do like quite a bit. They're going to be rolling out a pretty interesting update. So a Fusion X launch and a proof of useful work version 2 on the horizon for Flux. He's given his price targets from it. I think the more important thing for me is that they're doing this proof of useful work version 2 rollout very soon. Let's go look at Flux, because I know I got in and out of this project for really very minimal gains. Like I bought it for like 50 cents, got out for 65, 70 cents or something like that. So I'm not in this project currently, but I really do like it. I like the team. I've met the team. They're reasonable people. They're based. The overall chart makes it's a little bit scary. But now they got these upgrades rolling out. It's at 24 cents. So if I would enter the position, I've been getting it for basically half price of where I got in, and I got in at 50 cents and then got out at about like 65, 70 cents. So I did make a little bit of money. I just didn't make a ton of money. You know what I mean? It was like, took advantage of this little local peak here. Saw a lot of the altcoin sector was starting to consolidate. Flux was slight profits. This is kind of looking pretty good. It's actually kind of looking pretty good. I got to keep this in mind. And then there's so many cryptos I want to buy. Flux rolling out this proof of useful work, this V2 Fusion X launch, something I'm going to have to keep eyes on. Another one that really has got my attention is Pengu. Out of the meme coin sector, Korean buyers are going berserk for this damn penguin meme token connected to the NFT, Pudgy Penguins. I have these things all over the office. Pudgy Penguins, we knew they were going to be up to some shenanigans. But I can see like Walmart is willing to sell Pudgy Penguin tokens. They got, Pudgy's little game. I have the game on my and I barely play games. That shows you, like, if I have the game for Pudgy on my phone, a lot of people do. Now we see Koreans, they're starting to kind of lean into this Pudgy, this penguin takeover. Pengu is probably going to do over 10 billion this cycle. It's insane to say that, but I do got to look at what the hell is this market cap of this token even at. So it's at 2.5 billion right now. Volume only slightly down. Good amount of the tokens out. It's at that breakout point. It's trying to find support at its release point. We didn't see the massive cascading sell wall to head back down into this channel once we got here. So now we're kind of at this Mexican penguin standoff where this, I want to go do the math here. Let's do the math. Because 10 billion does not seem out of pocket for Pengu to do. I know it's insane to say. When I say it out loud, it's like, what the hell am I saying? But North Koreans are going absolutely berserk for these things. The token themselves, you know what? This hasn't even worked for a while. I'm going to have to do some back of the napkin math after this show. Because coin perspective and the tokenomics of it, not pulling up right now. But, we're at a $2.5 billion market cap. You count for a little bit of inflation, printing of the token, but thankfully most of the tokens are already circulating. Fat Penguin go up. Octavius. Fat Penguin go up? Probably, probably like high probability in my mind. Like, obviously I'm not giving financial advice. I'm just saying this world is chaos. Fat penguins that are cute, that are wearing boogaloo shirts are chaos. This is pure chaos in a box. So, seeing this, God, it's at 4 cents right now. Like, seeing Pudgy go to 15 cents is not out of pocket. Seeing Pudgy even 3x from this literal level is not out of pocket for me. So there is that. I'll just say it that way. Aerodrome, another one that I meant to bring up. Let's go check out where the prices are right now. We're at 86 cents. Obviously a beautiful looking chart from a TA perspective. Actually kind of makes me want a long Aerodrome. Seeing this. Let's back up a little bit. Wait a minute. Hold up. Let's go to the daily. So we got a clear trend line. On the downside, the Aerodrome has been bouncing off of for the last few months here. So we lost a little bit of it in June, but for the most part, we've been holding this level pretty consistently. Aerodrome, not surprised if we come back down to the flat line, 80 cent, really the key spot to see continuation. I'd like to see another bounce off the 80 cent, maybe 83 cent zone for Aerodrome. Now it's market cap and the position where Aerodrome is use case wise is what's got me still so damn bullish. It's number 98. It's not even in the top 50. It's not the top, 30. This is not in the top projects yet, but it is a driving mechanism behind Coinbase's decentralized exchange that they're trying to integrate with the Coinbase wallet. So this is a landing pad that I think Coinbase is going to be used by institutions quite heavily for their, kind of interest in DeFi, smaller plays. I think that a lot of institutional plays will come in through the Base ecosystem. Given that Aerodrome is kind of driving the DEX to that, I am, very bearish expectations as Aerodrome hits $5 billion market cap, or accomplishes a quarter of what Uniswap did last cycle. This is really, something that it's at 100. What is it? What is the market cap? 700 million right now. Seeing a 6-7x from these current price levels, I think is pretty much child's play for Aerodrome. As long as another swap setup / DEX driver isn't implemented for Coinbase and Coinbase continues to use Aerodrome for this, I think that it's pretty much child's play to see Aerodrome go to $5 or $6. More so, I feel like 10 billion is completely obtainable, and that's breaching to the $10. That's where this chart looks completely different. It's more utility and the positioning of Aerodrome that keeps me bullish on it. Even in these massive dips, I was a consistent buyer. Every time we dropped down to 50 cents, I bought 3 times over in that regard. The main points of where I originated the bag were at 18 cents, but I felt like continuing to add to it on those pullbacks, regardless of all the noise in the market, the big pullback, the Trump dump, the tariff dump. You get a tariff. You get a tariff. It all, is fanfare. Because at the end of the day, the money supply is going to increase. Bitcoin's going to continue to increase. It's going to become more and more finite. And chaos is absolutely breaking out in terms of alt season. Now, where are we at in terms of Bitcoin dominance? How far away are we from a true juicy alt season resurgence? Well, Bitcoin trying to hold on. We had dropped on Bitcoin dominance within the week. About 2 weeks ago, we dropped by 6.1%. It's trying to prove this previous shelf, this previous high, this local high as that support zone. But Ethereum is acting very, very aggressively. On the other hand, Ethereum and these Ethereum treasuries are starting to pick up steam. You're starting to see corporate interest and corporate buying of Ethereum, which is helping Ethereum print out a beautiful dominance graph for itself. This is Ethereum dominance, how much market cap Ethereum controls. And really, Ethereum is setting up that second big leg to the upside. Now, this move on Ethereum dominance got us just near $4,000 Ethereum. Kind of a low expectation, a tempered expectation of Ethereum dominance. The cycle is around 14%. And Gigabull for Ethereum and really decentralized finance in general, if we had 20% control of the crypto market for Ethereum, disgusting. Over $10,000 Ethereum, massive movements. So this, Ethereum been printing. I think we'd probably have to take a calm down moment given that Bitcoin is trying to prove this level as its support, but it really, in my opinion, is just a matter of time till Bitcoin visits this 50% dominance level, and that is where the Giga alt season comes. So I'm loving it. I'm loving these markets. I know Isaac's trapped in the computer behind me, but he's there in spirit. I'm feeling good about the bags. Now, make sure that you guys are following our channel, okay? We have Blockchain Basement is coming out with a great video tonight. Blockchain Basement. Let's see. I'm typing it in. We haven't been shadow banned too bad lately, Isaac, by the way. Good job. We're at 80,500 subscribers as of right now. But make sure to give it a subscription. We got a deep dive coming into this Ripple XRP RLUSDC relationship tonight. It's a great place. I love and appreciate every single one of you. Even the haters, the people that can't stand to see these crypto bros on YouTube continue to win. The winning shall continue. The mullet shall grow on. I got a little haircut today. I got a little trimmed, but it's still, we thick. We thick, baby. I love and appreciate you guys. Stay based, stay stacking Bitcoin. The goal here is to get those altcoins to rip, change it out for Bitcoin, change your life forever. And with that, I love and appreciate every single one of you out there. And I will see you on the next episode. Peace out.
We just wanted to take a quick second to shout out our sponsor, Arculus. They are a cold storage hardware wallet, helps you secure all of your digital assets for the future. Just tap this thing to the back of your phone and boom, you're in. We wouldn't be able to do this without them, but also wouldn't be able to do this without you guys, the Disco fam. You've supported us a lot over the years. If you want to support the channel now, just use the code DC20. It gets you 20% off this card. It's the #1 way you can support this channel going forward. Thank you for your support. We'll see you at the top.